Hello, welcome to Public Health 475, Health Science Research Planning and Evaluation. I am your instructor, Dr. Mark Dust. My office is in EC 475. That is the education classroom building right across the street or sidewalk from the Starbucks in the library. Go up to the fourth floor, go straight down the hallway, and I am the next to the last door on the left-hand side. Hang a left into there, and I'm the very first cubicle on the left-hand side. I think it's station 7. All right, I'll be there on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10:45 to 11:45 in the morning. On Tuesdays, I have virtual office hours, so I'm happy to do a Zoom meeting with you and your group or you by yourself, whatever you need. On Thursdays, I'll be in the office from 1:30 to 2:30, and I can also be reached via email mdust@fullerton.edu. All right, so research. What does it mean to engage in health science research? I bet most of you feel like research is like this guy in the lab taking pipettes and solving AIDS or things like that. But not all research is laboratory research. We do a lot of field work in health science, otherwise known as public health research as well. Now that our department has changed names, we have to go by new rules. Sorry about that little distraction there. One of my dogs decided to bark at the mailman real quick, so I apologize. You'll probably hear cats, dogs, all kinds of stuff running around while I'm recording these lectures, so it's just part of the ambiance. The goal of this course is to make the health research process accessible, manageable, and perhaps even enjoyable for you all. One of the reasons that engaging in health research is satisfying is that, excuse me, is that research is the necessary foundation for meaningful improvements in clinical and public health practice. Research helps us to learn how to be healthier and how to help our families, our friends, and our community improve and maintain their health. Without the building blocks provided by health research, we would not be able to identify and map the areas that have a high rate of various diseases. We would not know about the risk factors for various diseases and disorders, and we also would not know what interventions are most effective for improving individual and community health. But it's not just the outcomes that make research rewarding. The research process itself, the process of exploring the unknown and discovering answers to the previously unanswered questions, can be exciting. So this course is going to be a practical step-by-step guide to the research process. All research projects follow the same steps: identifying a focused research question, choosing a study design, collecting data that will answer the question, analyzing the accumulated evidence, and disseminating the findings. The investigation proceeds through these same basic steps regardless of whether it involves conducting a clinical trial, organizing a neighborhood survey, analyzing the existing data set, or synthesizing the existing literature through meta-analysis. It doesn't matter if you are trained in medicine, nursing, public health, dentistry, radiation technology, health policy, psychology, optometry, audiology, or any other clinical or social science discipline. All the steps are the same, regardless of whether the investigator is an undergraduate student, a master's or doctoral candidate, or a seasoned professional. Health research is an intentional process that requires you to be detail-oriented and persevere, but it is not complicated. Anyone who is willing to follow the steps outlined in this course can conceptualize a research project and see it through to completion. The process can generate many personal benefits: the acquisition of new skills, the fulfillment of degree or work requirements, the satisfaction of personal curiosity, and even the opportunity to become a published author if you choose to go on to grad school and do research. All right, so you may see your research translated into improved patient care, enriched organizational effectiveness, and enhanced community health. An increase in the number of active investigators who can conduct research and accurately communicate their findings to others will benefit us all. Okay, so jumping right into the syllabus, it's important to come to class. You have attendance points that are worth 5% or 7% of your grade, and if you don't come to class, it's going to be very difficult for you to do well. I mean, we only meet once a week for an hour and 15 minutes, and there's a whole lot of work that you have to do outside of class. So this is your one chance a week outside of office hours to meet with me, ask questions, and also we have a quiz at the beginning of every lecture class. So it's important for you to show up. All right, textbook. You got to read it. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The best deal that I found on the textbook is through the Titan Direct Access program. I have a link to that on the website, Titanium, and you can get it for $34.95, I believe, and the first 2 weeks are free. It is an e-textbook, but it's much, much cheaper than the paper book. All right. There might be a few supplemental readings when we start talking about some of the other things about surveys and that kind of stuff. So there may be some additional things there for you to read, and those will be posted on Titanium. Check Titanium frequently. This course goes very, very fast. We may end up having to change some dates around, that kind of stuff, so the syllabus won't be accurate anymore, and those changes will be reflected on Titanium and not the syllabus. All right, notes. Make sure you're taking notes when you're listening to these lectures and start to formulate your questions and figure out what it is that you don't know so that you can ask questions about it in the next class session. All right, your major assignments in this class are listed in the syllabus, and they mostly are your research project. It's homework packets that will help you start to formulate your research project and get all the pieces put together. Those will be done as a group and turned in as a group, but it depends on everybody to pull their weight. And so there is some individual work, for instance, the exams, and individual pieces of the projects that you'll be working on, but it all comes together as a group in the end. And so everybody has to pull their own weight. Equity is in the group is very important. There is a peer evaluation at the end of the course, and it can affect your grade if you are not a good team player. All right, so what does that mean for your grades? Your grades are your responsibility. You have to monitor your performance and do what you need to do in order to keep your grades up. Come to me regarding mistakes and add up any points or marking questions wrong, any of that kind of stuff. Other than that, grades are not negotiable. And please don't kill off your grandmother at the end of the semester. There's many grandmothers that die at the end of every semester, and that will not affect your grade. All right, writing. Well-written assignments are key. As a university student, you have to be able to write well. All right, the importance of being able to write well cannot be overstated. It's a fundamental skill, and if you plan on going to grad school, you're going to have to write well. It's just something that I'm very sticky on, and I want to encourage you to use all the resources available. I'll have links to those here in just a bit, but your score will depend upon your writing skills. All right, so you have a group, use them. All right, never turn in a first draft. Always use group editing. Pass it around to multiple people and get different eyes on the subject. Hopefully, somebody in the group is an excellent proofreader. There's also software like Grammarly. You know, you have free access to that through your university fees. So make use of it. I mean, you're paying for it. You got to use it. Right, this is a scientific-based class, so you need to write in formal scientific language. Make sure you're checking your spelling, check your grammar. High-quality writing is respected in the real world. I mean, think about the times that you read something that was not written very well and the subconscious judgments that you made about those people. All right, you don't want to be looked at as the person who can't write. All right, it's a skill. It can be developed. It takes work and perseverance, but you can get there. If you need help with your writing, the University Writing Center is available, and the University Learning Center is also available. And your group mates can also help you with your writing. All right. Hopefully, there's a few folks in there that are excellent writers, and they can also help with proofreading and making sure everything is good to go. All right. Your first assignment for this week is to read the syllabus and textbook chapters 1 and 2. All right. We'll go over in class access to the textbook, what it looks like, that kind of stuff. But each week you will have a quiz based on that week's assigned reading material. All right, and that helps me to understand what you learned from the reading and what you didn't learn. And so I can touch on a few of those subjects. But remember, I'm not going to be lecturing over the material that you read in class. I'll answer questions about it, but there just simply isn't enough time to do a full-blown lecture. All right. Don't be intimidated. You've probably heard horror stories about this class, but they are partially true. I have to agree. But it all depends upon what kind of expectations you have, how much work you're going to put into it. You can learn this stuff. It might seem like heavy material, and a lot of material, and it can be really fast at times, and it can be overwhelming. But this course is designed for you to draw on and apply almost all the skills and knowledge that you have acquired in the health science slash public health major. That is why you take it near the end of your tenure as a health science major. It's not supposed to be easy, and indeed it is not. But nevertheless, it can be done and done well. So manage your expectations, manage your time, keep up with material. The class has a very tight schedule. If you fall behind even 1 week, it can have a domino effect for the remainder of the semester. Do not let that happen to you. If you maintain a steady pace of work in this class, you will probably do much better than if you work in short bursts of activity separated by periods of not engaging. Ask good questions during class time so that everyone can benefit. Which brings us to our expectations for this course. All right, in this course, you'll be treated as adults who are training to become competent and skilled professionals. You're going to be held to a high standard that's appropriate for the development of competent, skilled professionals. Scoring and grades adhere to this same standard. Communication by me will be straightforward and not sugar-coated. I'm not going to treat you with kid gloves. Okay? Students will be critiqued at an appropriate level so that you can be prepared to do things correctly and competently after you leave the university. All right? You will need to work hard. Consider, is an easy university education worth pursuing? Think of all the sacrifices that you had to make for your education. Do you want those sacrifices to be for an unchallenging education? What would be the point in doing that? Though it may be challenging to keep this in mind at times when you're struggling in a course, when you look back on your education, you will probably most value the classes and experiences in which you achieve things through hard work and perseverance. So not only is it hard work, but your grades will be a reflection of your hard work, and they are your responsibility. Grades will be based on numeric scores. You'll receive the scores and grades that you earn, not necessarily the ones that you think you're entitled to. Level of effort, other classwork, family, personal commitments, personal struggle, work outside of class, hardships, etc. will not make any difference in scores on assignments and exams in your grade in the course. Only the results count. Your personal timeline regarding when you would like to graduate will have no effect on your scores or grades in the class as well. Again, only results count. A and A minus grades can absolutely be achieved, and they happen every semester, but they require exceptional, outstanding performance. Grades in the B range are solid, strong grades and mean that you did well in this course. C plus and C grades mean that you met the standard to pass the course, which is no small achievement. C minus grades and below mean you did not earn sufficient points to achieve a passing grade unless you were a public health major and not a health science major, and then a C minus will be passing. All right, that's it for the introduction. I mean, I generally do want you to do well in this class, and I will bend over backwards and do the best that I can to help you achieve your goals. But you are responsible for your grades, and you're responsible for watching this content, listening to the rest of the slides that I'll be presenting, and asking good questions in class and coming prepared. All right, so I look forward to seeing you in class on the first day, and I'll talk to you soon.